Hi everyone, my name's Harley. Welcome to TransByDef. This week we're going to be talking about what does it feel like to be transgender, or a trans woman for me, my case. In reality, it's almost like what does it feel like to be a woman, because, you know, that's kind of what happens, but I guess adding transgender to it seems more precise because people ask that question, like, what does it feel to be transgender? And you're like, well, same thing what it feels like to be a woman, or same thing to feel normal. That's really what the simple question is, but so that's why it's difficult to answer this question, I think, but because you feel normal, but what it felt like before was horrible. You felt depressed, you started feeling enviness to women, and women in general, you're just envious, and because you're like, damn, you're so lucky, and sorry, I had ice cream. So feeling depressed, feeling like not living at all is a big difference in the past, and now feeling good, feeling like, yeah, I have a lot to live for now. It's amazing. It's an amazing feeling. I feel normal. I'm feeling like I'm getting normal because there may be a few things that are still bothering me, but I feel like I'm getting normal. I feel way better than before. I mean, before I felt like a freak, pre-transition, I felt like I was just a freak. Something was wrong with me, and now it's like I feel good. I feel normal and shit like that. People are gonna tell you you're not normal. Like society. Some people just go out and say this is not normal. It's not. You're a man. You're born a man. You should stay a man. Blah blah blah. But the thing that they don't realize, these people, is they don't realize that your identity, you're not really choosing your identity. I mean, I've always felt like a woman before. It's just I pretended, like, people, and that's another argument. People say, oh, you're pretending to be a woman. It's like, no, I pretended to be a man, and I got tired of pretending. I got tired of lying to people, and now I feel this is how I feel. I mean, it's just like, I can't say body modifications like piercings and stuff, but you want to get a piercing. That's a bad example. It's not like that. It's like, yeah, you want to do it, but that's not, that's something different. Trying to think of a good analogy for it. I guess your clothes, in a sense. You wear your clothes because that's how you feel. You wear your hair because that's how you feel. You either put makeup on because that's how you feel. You either brush your teeth or you don't do any hygiene because that's how you feel. I mean, your outer persona or your outer appearance reflects how you feel sometimes. You feel like shit, you're gonna look like shit. It's that's really what it is. I mean, you can see it. Like when you're sick, I feel like shit. Well, you look like shit. It's like I remember that one time I was actually coming from like a school, college, and I was talking to a friend. I was sick for a week, and he's like, "Dude, you look like shit." And I was like, "I feel like shit." It's just like, I'm sorry, I'm using that phrase too much, but so I'm feeling good about it. Media sometimes portrays it differently about what transgender. They try to link things like perverts and transgenders because maybe a transgender was a pervert, a pedophile or something, and then they link it automatically, and then everyone else thinks that, oh, transgenders are perverts or pedophiles or sexual objects. It just fuck. So you feel all those internal feelings, and you're like, oh my god, this is horrible. This is not me. That's not me. It's like, how much do I have to tell you guys? Like, that's not me. I'm not. I mean, I just want to live my life, and enjoy life. I don't want to, lie to people like, hey, I'm actually, I, and that's another thing is I don't like having to disclose, but I understand why we have to disclose, to relationships and stuff like that. It's just because people aren't used to it. They're not used to that spectrum of the gender where there's like an in between, or being transgender and something between your legs, sex versus gender. In a sense, it's like there's a difference. So it's tough having to disclose these things because it either will it'll either make or break a relationship very easily. And even sometimes people think it's like such a sexual fantasy that they'll do anything to be with you because you're transgender, and that you don't want. And it's like, it's not something that really makes up me, but I understand I have to disclose in the meantime until things get better in life. So, and then the shitty thing is, being a minority, you're gonna have hate crimes. You're gonna have people discriminating, and it's tough. It sucks. I read a lot of news articles, related to transgenders and LGBT stuff, and it's really heartbreaking to read a story of a transgender getting murdered, like stabbed 20 times, shot in the head, and or left for dead. And it's just, it's sad. It really touches me because that could have been me or something like that. And I worry because they were targeted for hate crimes, or even sometimes when people are targeted for hate crimes, but they're the ones who get blamed for the crime. And it's like, what? I was defending myself because they were, on a hate crime. And it's like, nope, you're going to jail. Boop. It's like unbelievable. So getting treated differently is another part of feeling what it feels like to be transgender. A lot. I wouldn't say it happens all the time. I would say it happens some of the time. Not most of the time either, but it just, some of the time it happens. You get treated differently, and that is a major thing about what it feels like to be transgender. Just being not treated the same as others, and even government treats you differently, and it's, they treat you as a minority. They don't care because they don't get the votes, but sometimes they do. Sometimes you got to get a good group of people to, change the government, and so far it's been working. It's been good. There's some physical parts to it, physical feelings of being transgender, but it's just because you've been from one side and the physical aspects, the sexual parts of being a man, and then the sexual parts of being a female. In a sense, I'm not completely on that other side with a VJ, but it's like, getting there. I understand what it feels like to have soft skin. I understand what it feels like to have boobs. It's, that feeling is, remarkable. It reminds you every day why you feel good, because you feel normal and you like that feeling. You don't like the hard skin. You don't like, the big muscles, or that could be gender stereotype muscles and stuff, but facial hair, I don't get it as much now. I still go for electrolysis, but very minor now. It's like, that's an amazing feeling altogether. Just, those feelings are good because, you wake up, you go to sleep, you live your day, and you're not feeling that, and it's not hitting you as hard. Going to the restroom is still bothering me a little bit, just because it just doesn't feel right down there, and that's something else. But yeah, and these things, when they start growing, and this is kind of more into womanhood and stuff, it's what, but they start out with a hard nipple, and then you feel like a nodule down there where it's like a marble right there, and it's like you can feel it, it's hard, and then that hardness kind of spreads, open, and it kind of hurts because it feels like, the milk ducts are spreading, so it feels like little needles kind of prying in and spreading out, and you can feel that. And the best thing to do is just to go like that, fondling yourself. But it really is just to massage it. You can, feel a little bit better. It doesn't feel like sharp pains and stuff like that. But it's an amazing feeling because, I put myself, I was leaning on something that was like a wall, and I could feel it brushing up like that, and I was like, I got padding there, and it's like awesome, and even when I was sleeping the other day, I slept on the floor at my friend's house, and I got the hip, and my hip was hurting me because like the the fat around it was just pushing against the hip, and it was like, oh my god. Those are feeling good, you know, just being able to dress like how you want to dress is an amazing feeling as well, because you know, I never wore tight pants before, like the skinny jeans. Those are amazing. I went to the beach in my swimsuit, and my friend got me to take my shorts off, you know, so I just had the bikini. That was that was a weird. That was actually a really good feeling, because I always went to the beach and I always thought about wearing a bikini. You know, when I was little, you know, even like being as a guy, I was always like, oh my god, I wish I could wear a bikini on the beach. And that was the first time I wore a bikini on the beach, and I was like, holy shit, this is exciting. Like the whole time at the beach was like so exciting, because these were memories I was going back where I was depressed at, and I was actually wishing to live that moment, and this was the day I was living that moment. That was a great, terrific feeling. I'm hitting 11 minutes, so I am going to cut it right now. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'm going to try to keep doing videos, but I am going to be in the process of moving, so um, it's going to suck so for me, so I might not do any videos. I might just do videos on here too, you know, but um, you know, I hope to keep in touch and stuff. I try to keep in touch. I'll try. But this is me, Harley, your host for Saturday, and I will see you hopefully next week. Have fun. Ta-ta.